Hey kids, welcome to Come Rant With Me, aka Rant Jemima, aka the International House of Rants. I'm your host, Matt Gorman. I'm here with my friend and co-host and producer, engineer, music snob, David Huey Hayman.
What's up?
And yeah, this is Come Rant With Me. This is the podcast where we rant about bullshit that pisses us off in the world. You know, little things, just the little mundane things that drive you crazy. And you got to talk about them, so that's what we do. We talk about them. Today, my guest is actor and improviser Jonathan Shaboo. But before we get to him, can we just quickly talk about parking lots? What is the deal? How come as soon as people get off the road and into a parking lot, all rules of the road and etiquette and just go out the window, completely out the window, both for pedestrians and drivers? I just don't understand at all. I personally am a big fan of parking lots that have one-way lanes that you just drive one way. The cars are parked on an angle, so there's only really one way to pull in and pull out. Everyone's moving the same way, but for some reason, there's a parking like that just right near my house. But for some reason, people just go the opposite way. There's an arrow, clearly marked arrow on the ground pointing in one direction. People are just driving the other direction. It doesn't matter that the spots are facing away from me, that there's no potential way for me to pull into any of these parking spots. I'm just going to go out my merry fucking way, and who cares what the signs say, whatever, right? And then there's pedestrians who walk down the center of the aisle in a parking lot. No regard for the cars driving. Don't worry about the giant 3,000-pound piece of machinery slowly crawling behind you. How about just move the fuck over to the side a little bit? Like, pretend there's a sidewalk. I know there's no sidewalk there. It's hard to imagine. Pretend there's a sidewalk, and it's off on the side, and that's where you're supposed to walk when you walk through the parking lot. It's not really difficult. I don't understand why this is such a hard concept, but maybe some people will listen to this and it'll be awesome. So
they get it, man. End rant.
Anyway,
End rant.
Let's get to today's show. My friend Jonathan Shaboo, who I was introduced to through oft-mentioned director Alan Unger, who I was working on a film a couple years ago called Gridlocked, and he brought on Shaboo as one of my TADs, one of my trainee assistant directors, to help wrangle talent and just be general hand around set. And Shaboo's a really great guy. Since then, he was in theater, involved in a lot of theater before then, and since then he's really gotten into improv and been climbing the ranks in Second City. He's a really funny guy. We had a good conversation, so why don't you check it out? I hope you like it. By the time I'm 50, I'll have white hair.
Shit, I didn't realize how much I fucking shed until I lived with a white chick. Cause like honestly, like growing up in a family of Arabs, like I thought this was commonplace, man. I didn't realize.
Oh my god.
God damn.
All right, let's get into it. Shaboo, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming
Thanks
in.
for having me,
Give me one sentence. Who are you? What do you do?
Hi, my name is Jonathan Shaboo. I'm a comedian and actor in the city. I do a lot of work with Second City.
Yep.
Do a lot of work, outside of there. I don't know, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, just making my way. Starting from the bottom.
Right.
I'm doing the Drake thing.
Yeah.
So now's the segment of the show. I'm going to ask you some questions, and these questions, the idea behind these is you can like both of these things, but you can only like one more than the other. You always are going to like one more than the other, and you got to pick one. And whatever you pick is going to tell us a little bit about your personality.
Fuck, yeah.
So
Just
rapid
like right
fire.
to the speed round, eh?
Yeah,
Let's
whatever
do it.
pops
All
into
right?
your head, and
Yeah,
it'll lead
yeah.
to some arguments. So
Let's do it.
crunchy or smooth?
Crunchy.
Nice.
Yeah. It's more bang for your buck.
I'm so happy with the amount of crunchies we got. I thought everyone was going to be smooth. I'm a crunchy
smooth.
man.
I'm
Right?
smooth all the way.
I
Absolutely.
feel like I knew that.
Well, I
don't
just feel
know.
like crunchy's it's just peasant food.
It just peanut
Sorry.
butter like
Well,
smooth doesn't taste
it's
like
like-
it's just like butter. It's not like butter should have peanuts in it. I
For
should
me,
be able
it's
to
just a
taste the
substance
crunch.
thing. I want
I feel like the
to
help-
get in there with my teeth a little.
Right.
I feel like the
That's what
help
I'm
got
saying.
lazy.
Yeah, maybe. Coupon or coupon?
What the fuck? Who says
what word-
coupon?
Hayman, we are in the wrong
fuck
here.
says coupon?
Everyone says coupon, but
Really?
we say coupon.
Really?
Coupon?
Yeah, coupon, man.
Coupon, man.
This is an ongoing.
Shit, I'll go coupon just because it's new and I want to try it out.
You're a
apparently it's an
coupon.
East Coast. It comes from an East
Coupon.
Coast thing. Dude, this podcast should be called Coupon or Coupon.
Like I said,
because that's like the main
Well,
thing.
how many people look at you weird when you ask that question?
Well, we've had a couple of people that said coupon, but most of them are like, Hayman just gets. It boggles my mind how much Hayman, when people say coupon, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? We're like, I'm aware that people say coupon.
Just want to get up and leave.
Yeah, my parents
Fuck
made me
this.
feel too special and didn't correct me. I should have been corrected more. In my life.
The first time I said it, we asked someone, they said coupon, and Hayman was like, coupon? What are you talking about? What does that even mean? Anyway, you prefer to be hot or cold?
Oh, dude, cold. Man, it's usually I run warm. I'm a big dude. I run warm, but
So you like to be cold so that you run warm?
Yeah, but lately, man, I'm not enjoying this cold. So
No.
I gotta say, man, warm, hot.
Yeah?
I'll be hot. Let me
Alright.
sweat out a bit.
Cool. I buy that. Window or aisle on a plane?
Aisle. My legs get real.
People always say that, but do you stick your leg out
You
into
get
the
much
aisle?
more room in the window.
I do, man. At least
You get
my left
more
leg
room
does,
on the
or my
window?
right leg.
I don't think
you
it's
get
that.
more-
I think it's equal. Like every once in a while, you can stretch your one leg into
fucking
the aisle
hate-
when you're sitting on the aisle, but then you get bumped by people walking by.
Yeah, and I fucking hate planes in general. Like, I'm the guy, like, walking up and down the aisle, like, stretching for
Right.
some
Oh,
reason,
really?
breathing really heavily on everyone.
Nunchucks or swords?
Ooh, swords, because I would fuck myself up with a nunchuck.
But a sword is like a blade, it's a giant blade. You're okay with that?
I'm cool.
Yeah, I
It's
would
pointing in the
slice
right
my shit
direction.
up.
You think?
I would slice
I had a
my
buddy in
fucking
high
hand
school
off.
who just got into buying swords.
Oh yeah.
Probably because he was a virgin. And he
Is there
would-
another reason?
No, for sure not. But like he would come into class the next day just like bleeding, cut marks all over him because he'd be sharpening his sword and just fucking
Maybe he was like a cutter. Like he cut himself for
Could've
pleasure.
been that.
But then he just
Could've
hit
been
it with
that.
like, no, I own swords.
I own swords.
Yeah.
I dropped the ball on that. I should have been there for him.
Dude, you should look him up and see if he's still.
Nah, he's good.
I'm sure he's fine. All right, your let's do some Arab themed ones.
I'll handle the casual racism. Let's go.
Iron Sheik or Jafar?
Fuck, that's a battle I would watch.
I thought you were gonna
Holy
say
shit.
bullet riddled Land Rover or carpet.
No.
Iron Sheik or Jafar?
Yeah.
I think Iron Sheik takes it. Have you seen the pecs on that dude?
Yeah.
It's serious.
Dogs or cats?
Cats like me, but I'm allergic to them. Dogs fucking hate me.
Really?
Dogs fucking hate me, dude. And I've
Really?
tried
There's something
everything,
wrong
man.
with you, I think.
Why does fucking every dog owner say that shit to me?
That's weird.
It's
I have-
you. It's not my
I
fucking
actually
racist
have
dog.
one friend.
No.
Oh, you think it's a racist?
I think dogs are
I-
racist.
No,
Dogs
I
are.
think-
I had a dog that was
No?
racist.
I
I had
think
a
they're
dog that was
racist towards
racist
you.
in high school.
Yeah, man.
My
towards
dog
different color
saw
skin,
an Asian
maybe, but your
person.
skin's the same color as his skin and my
Yeah, no,
skin.
they smell the difference.
They
they,
can
they,
tell.
they get in there.
My dog Sandy that I had in high school, we had an Asian guy come in to like do some work in the house, like do some renovations or whatever, and my dog saw this guy and she freaked the fuck out. She like barked, and she never barked at anyone. She like freaked out at this guy barking at him. And a redhead too. She went after a redhead one time. Not went after.
Wait,
but
a
like
redheaded
scared.
Asian?
No,
No,
two separate
that
incidents.
doesn't exist.
She
'Cause
hated
I would freak
redheads
out.
and Asians.
That's
I'd be
unicorn.
fucking
That's the
freaked.
very last
Yeah.
unicorn, man. That doesn't exist.
That is the thing though.
Maybe my future's just shady. Maybe I'm gonna do some shit when I'm older.
Maybe.
That's gonna fuck the world up, and
Like
the dogs
some
just
terrorism
know.
shit.
Maybe. The night's young.
Waffles or pancakes?
Pancakes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a little undercooked.
Undercooked
That's something
pancakes.
that's something I picked up from an ex-girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
She used to get her pancakes always undercooked.
Dude, I'm
and just
so
like
with
kind of
that.
battery.
You're like
and
runny?
Totally
Chocolate?
with that.
Really?
Dude, you got to get in on that, man.
I
That's a
am
good look.
so down with that. It's
Yeah.
not even funny.
Yeah.
Have you ever asked for it under?
Oh yeah, I get
At
the
a
weirdest
restaurant?
looks. I get the weirdest- Sometimes they won't do it. They're like, it's a health and safety.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like,
isn't there egg in it
man.
sometimes? You gotta cook it.
just a little in the middle, just a little.
I think the worst thing is baking cookies.
Baking cookies?
Yeah, baking cookies. Like when you have Pillsbury and they're ready, like you can eat them.
Oh, yeah.
I've proven it. I eat them all the time.
Like without cooking.
But yeah, my wife makes me warm them up and flatten them out. I can just sit there with the dough and be
Yeah,
just
just go to
same
town.
amount of calories
Like
are going
a-
in.
just go to
like a
town.
bar.
What's the
Can't dip it
difference?
in milk. Can't dip
It's
it in
only an
milk.
etiquette difference, right? It's only a
It's a
social
perception thing,
Well,
though,
that's
man.
the taste
It's like-
changes.
Oh no, I'll cut them into cookie shapes just so I'm not an actual, not a boar. I'm not going to sit there with a tube.
I'm not an animal.
I just want to wait 10 minutes to cook those.
10 fucking minutes. The Beatles or the Stones?
Beatles.
Nice.
I'm way too sentimental.
Me too.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot.
I was gonna pick you for a Stones guy.
It's weird having
My
two
son's name
wrong
is Lennon.
people in the room.
Yeah, that's right. Never mind. Fuck me.
Yeah, Stones are just. I like the Stones. I just not. My childhood is the Beatles, so it all music,
And
from my
Fish.
opinion, comes from like what you grew up with.
Yeah, that's
well,
it.
Fish is like an extension of like. Well, it is like '94. I was 16 when I saw my first Fish show, but it's just an extension of the type of music you grew up listening to. I never listened to the Dead though. The Dead was not.
No.
Never. my
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, Fish and
Is
the
that
Dead.
You grew up listening to children's music,
No.
and you continue to listen to
What? What's
children's
children's
music
music? The
with
Beatles?
Fish,
The Beatles?
Raffi,
No,
Fred
never.
Penner, which are fantastic.
No.
But Trey sounds like a fucking kid
A
singer.
little bit of that, but I grew up like when I used to road trip across Canada and the U.S. as a kid in a Volkswagen van. What we listened to every summer was Bob Seger, Billy Joel, Supertramp, Queen, the Beatles, John Lennon.
That's a good list.
Like that.
That's a
Those
good
were the
list.
I think
types of
that's like
music
a-
we
That's a
listened to.
solid. No, that's a good list.
And those are.
I think
then,
it's a scratching the surface, weak attempt at
Wow.
classic music.
Yeah, well, this is during the 80s. Like, those things weren't classic. Hall & Oates
Lord.
also goes on there. These weren't classic at the time. They were contemporary.
Right.
That's what was out then.
Well,
You know, I'm talking about the 80s.
yeah, that stuff is classic still,
Now it's classic, but then it was just like brand new music. It was like the new Bob Seger album,
I guess.
you know? Like a
guess.
rock or whatever, like a rock.
I just
shit.
feel bad for you.
Why? What did you listen to as a kid? What did your parents play you?
Oh, my parents just listened to experimental, like Yiddish music, but that I was
What the fuck?
I was raised very Jewish though. It was, like
No, I
very
understand. I
different.
get that. Like
Yeah,
I'm growing up in an Iraqi household. I didn't.
Yeah.
There was no music.
Yeah,
we didn't
no.
listen to music.
You're Iraqi? I thought you were Iranian. Fuck, that throws my whole Iron Sheik thing out. I have no Iraqi Q&As.
I'm handling.
No, I
the
wasn't
casual
allowed to
racism.
listen to melodic music until I
Baghdad
was
or
15.
Kandahar? No, Kandahar.
No, you just-
Kandahar is in Afghanistan, isn't it?
Jesus Christ, Gorman.
I'm bad. I don't. Shiite or Sunni?
I'm Christian.
Don't. Either way, never answer that.
Yeah, I'm
question.
never gonna answer that question.
Okay, a couple more. What do we got here?
You're Sunni.
I didn't even say it right. I
Just
think I
ask
said
it.
shut
Every other question, just ask it.
It's amazing.
On Roseanne, original Becky or new Becky?
Fuck that new Becky, man.
Nice.
Fuck that new Becky.
Yeah.
Totally. Although I do like that new Becky
No.
on
You
Scrubs. She
like
was
her
on-
hair?
Yeah,
Last
on
week you
Roseanne.
pointed
I was like,
Roseanne.
where fucking
Go
old Becky
Roseanne.
go?
I've been trying to Google Asian gingers and my internet's down, but that's on the list.
I'm trying to think of how nerdy I should go.
Go nerdy, man. I'll keep up.
Um,
keep up.
okay, well,
Let's
let's
do
go for if you're Archie, who do you fuck first, Veronica or Betty?
I guess everyone says Veronica. Fuck first.
Yeah, the way you put it, it's like he's 100% locked into both of them, which isn't true.
Well, that's how the Archie
Which
comic
one?
is. They're both fun. The whole Archie comic is based around the fact that both these women like are hitting on him, and he's like going back and forth and trying to decide between them.
That's what it is.
Like I feel like I should say Veronica, but I'm gonna say Betty.
All right, you should say whatever you feel, man. Whatever's in your heart.
That's true.
Betty.
Betty,
Betty.
So it's in your heart, man.
you like the blonde?
I'm
You're
about
into
it.
the blondes, I think.
Dude, crazy
right?
white chicks, man.
Yeah, Veronica's white too, but she's darker.
Yeah, she
complexion.
looked a bit darker.
Yeah. Psycho or The Exorcist?
Exorcist. Only because I grew up in a super fucking religious household.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it scared the shit out of me, man.
Really?
Yeah, because like I was always thought just because I believed in this shit that it was real now.
Really?
Yeah, because like it was just like it was weird. It was close to home, you know, all the crucifixes and the priests. We used to have priests coming over to our house all the time.
Yeah,
I remember as a kid, like waking up to like priests in the basement having coffee with my dad, and
Oh,
like
really?
it was just a weird.
Weird.
It was just a thing that always happened. It was just like religious figures always. My mom, like I love her, but she goes overboard with the religion thing, man. She built
Right.
like a shrine in the backyard. Dude, and I grew up with this shit, and all my friends would come over and just think it was the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah. That's weird.
A lot of iconography.
It doesn't really hold up, I don't think, now, but I
No.
could see as a kid it being like
Other
holy
people's
fuck.
houses are always weird when you're a kid. It's
true.
Other people's houses have a smell.
Smells.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's like the
smells
most
first
distinct thing. Yeah. that was the weirdest thing as a kid. Other
Yeah.
people's houses just always.
Do you remember when movies still felt real? When you still believed in movies, though,
Yeah.
like, and they could really scare you because
Yep.
you didn't know they weren't true, or your brain wasn't
I
developed
don't know when
enough.
I don't know when
So-
that switch happened that I stopped that.
Yeah.
I missed that. That's
Because
what I
like you
missed.
still can suspend your disbelief
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of fall into the movie, but then when the movie ends, like no matter how scary it might have been, you're like, yeah, it was a movie. But
Sure.
so I was like 12, I think, and I watched The Fly was on TV for the first time. It was going to be on
Great
TV.
movie.
And my mom told me, do not watch The Fly. It's too scary for you.
And she was right.
Don't watch it. Or
Mom-
maybe we
Mom was
rented
right.
it even. Maybe it was like someone rented it
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm going to watch it. And my mom was like, I'm telling you not to watch it, but you're old enough now to make your own decisions. So if you want to watch it, you can, but it's not for you. It's too scary. And I was like, I'll be fine. I'm going to watch it. So I watched The Fly by myself. Then at the end of the movie, I go upstairs. My mom's lying in bed, like watching TV. And I came into my mom's room. I sat next to her on the bed. And I'm like, you know, you were right. It was too. I shouldn't have watched that movie. It was really scary. And she's
Very
just
well
like
spoken.
nodding her head. And she grabs my arm and she spits this white fluid out of her mouth onto my arm. And I started freaking out. I ran out of the room like, oh my God!
What?
And my mom is laughing. She thinks that's the funniest thing ever. She heard the movie and she heard me coming up the stairs. She went into the bathroom and put some toothpaste and water in her mouth and
That's
swished it around
amazing.
and waited for like a good 5 minutes until I was like in the right spot. And then that was like her practical joke on me. And I didn't talk to her for like a week.
Maryland Sunshine for the win.
Dude.
Yeah.
Are you? Mom got you good.
I know, and that
Mama
was
got
like
you
I
good.
was still of the age where like
Holy
I
fuck.
thought my mom was turning into a fly for a minute. I was like, holy fuck!
Good on your mom though.
Good on
Good
her.
on her.
But like,
Fuck,
you
that
can't-
probably fucked you
That's
up,
like
too.
child abuse now. In 2017,
Yeah,
you do that to your
yeah,
kid, they
that's
call
not
the
getting
cops
by.
on you and take your kids away.
That's never happening again.
No, but
Good
yeah,
Lord,
good on
that's
my mom for that. I'll
hilarious.
give shout outs to my mom.
If somebody did that to me
she did
now,
that.
I would be fucking lit
Yeah.
up about it.
It was just like how devoted she was to it. The fact that she like thought about it, she heard me coming, she put the shit in her mouth.
See, that's the only reason I'm excited to ever have kids, that I can fuck with them. Like, I can't wait to catch my kid smoking weed for the first time. I'm gonna fuck with him so hard. I want to like leave the room and then enter again from a different place.
Yeah.
Like come in with different props. Like I'll have the props waiting. Like he'll just be like, oh yeah, Chuck's coming over for a sleepover. But yeah, you guys are gonna smoke pot and I'll just get ready. You know, I'll have shit. I'll have costumes. I'm gonna fuck with them real hard.
Change the clocks and stuff.
Yeah,
That would
yeah.
fuck
Just
you up.
gaslight them.
Change the clock.
Just
in the
fuck
other
with
room.
them.
Change the locks on your. Oh, no, that's not a joke.
My
Yeah.
dad locked me out.
But anyway, all right, let's get into it, Shaboo. What do you got to rant? You got something you want to rant about
I got a
today?
bit of a confession.
Oh yeah.
I'm not much of a ranter.
No.
You know
You
the
can
thing-
rant. I've
you
heard you
Seem
rant,
like a happy
man.
dude.
Here's the thing, man. I got a real high threshold.
Yeah.
Like for like just dealing with the day to day.
Uh-huh.
It takes a lot to get me rattled.
Yeah. But
know.
something's got to get to you.
And you know what? I'm gonna use this as a launching pad for myself to turn a new leaf
yeah.
and start getting fired up about it.
Nice.
Get
Get
fired up
angry.
about something, man. You got to
know,
have something that pisses
There is
you off.
actually, and it's funny that you reached out because
Yeah.
I had just had one of my first public displays of like frustration.
Okay.
I've never done this. I've never like stood outside of a building and been like, "Fuck you." I've never done that. It's
basically me every
and I was
day, but
like, I
okay.
just woke up. It was a shitty day. It was cold.
Yeah.
Just late for work. Ordered an Uber. Because I work like I can walk 25 minutes to Second City and I'm there.
Right.
Right. So, but I'm late. So I'll get an Uber. I'll pay the $8, like whatever. And I'm watching this. Man, I don't wanna talk shit about an Uber driver. I feel bad, but it's
fine.
I'm
We don't
watching
know
this
his name.
dude. No,
Don't
I
say his
know,
name.
I know, but like fuck. They're doing his best, and I'm like, I see him, the motherfucker, like he's gone by my street
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 times, and he's
the
like,
worst.
I watch him go onto like Lakeshore, go past my street.
Yeah.
I don't live in like a dead zone
Right.
for GP. Like I don't,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
So I see him, and then he pulls into another driveway, and he's asking somebody about where I live.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this whole thing go down, and I'm so late for work. And he goes by me one more time, and I just like, fuck, like, fuck you, world. And then I get in.
Yeah.
I get in the fucking thing. He finally pulls up.
Right.
Get in. And man, I'm like, no wonder, dude. Like, he's got a GPS on his car,
Right.
Built-in GPS.
Okay.
He's got one of the Garmin fucking GPSs hanging off the window,
Right.
And he's eyes down on his phone the whole drive for the first like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so maybe he's just tuned into some music while he's double GPSing. He's got his GPS on his phone.
Right.
3 GPS fucking whatever it is, machines or whatever it's doing.
Yeah.
3 of them, and he's barely looking at the road.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. This is
Yeah.
the problem is that I think that the whole like man, if you're a chef,
Yeah.
okay, and I pay like for fine fucking dining,
Right.
Wouldn't it piss you off if you went in the back and you saw the chef was looking up recipes on Google?
Right.
Like it would piss me off.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like it's the roads. Learn your shit.
Take some pride in your fucking job. Yeah, I feel you. And the worst is like you're standing on the street, you order an Uber on the street, and you're standing right where your pin is, and you see the Uber coming, and you're like waving, but they're not looking. They're looking at their phone, and they drive right past
Right by you.
They drive like a block further, and they pull over and call you. And I'm like, yeah, you fucking drove right past me, dude.
Yeah.
It's like raining out or snowing or
Yep.
whatever it might be.
I'll wait.
Yeah,
I'll
my
wait for
house
them to
too.
come.
Yeah,
I'll wait for them to come.
I was traveling for work, and I had like 3 big suit. Like they gave me some cameras to bring with me to the airport, so I had like 3 like big like Pelican heavy cases. And this guy drove right past my house and to the next house, which is like not far. It's just one driveway down. And then he like calls me like, "Hey, I'm here." I'm like, "No, you're not. You're at the next door. I got 3 giant fucking cases to put in the back of your car."
But it's also for me. It's
and
like,
I'm standing outside on my porch like waving, and they're not even looking up. You know?
and again, like I say, fucking God love them. They're trying their best.
Yeah.
You know, but like you gotta learn the roads,
Yeah.
man. This GPS stuff, like, look, I've used a GPS.
Yeah.
I've used a GPS a ton of times.
Yeah.
I love learning the roads that I'm driving on, especially if I'm driving in them every day.
Yeah, if that's your job, then learn
like,
the fucking
and that's
roads.
like sometimes like a fucking taxi, dude. I've stumbled into a taxi and basically just lied down and said home, and
Right.
they've gotten me there.
Yeah,
I don't know how they knew.
Yeah.
I don't know how they figured it out, but they got me home.
Yeah.
And that and it's and you know they just know their shit.
Yeah.
So you take an Uber, you're taking a chance, man.
Yeah.
I don't know who's driving.
Yeah, that's true. I had an Uber. No, what pissed me off recently? I did an Uber pool, which I'd never done before.
Did you go for it?
I was going a pretty far distance, but it said it was like decreasing, like it was a considerably cheaper, and I wasn't in a super rush to get home. I was going from like the east end of the city, from like Carlaw, like southeast end of the city, to where I live, which is in like midtown on the west side of the city.
You're adding like a solid half hour.
So
to
it
your
was,
trip.
but then no. The worst part is, I get in the cab and the guy starts, or in the Uber, and he starts going, and then we stop to pick someone up, fine, and we drop that same person off a little while long later. But basically, the entire ride, the Uber driver was telling me about how I shouldn't have done Uber Pool, and how it was a mistake, and how my ride was gonna be so much longer, and how what Uber Pool is really meant for is for short distances. If you're just going like for 5 minutes, but like if you're going to the other end of the city, it's not gonna make sense, and you're gonna end up wasting all this time. And it's like, well, someone should fucking explain that in the app, because I just clicked pool and I just thought that meant like it would save me a couple bucks and take a couple more minutes. Literally the entire ride, the guy's explaining to me how Uber Pool is not meant for me.
Okay, well, first of all, don't like if you could sell your fucking service,
Yeah,
bud.
exactly.
Like, you know, don't put me in the car that's taking forever to get there and tell me how I shouldn't be there.
Yeah, exactly. I got in an Uber recently, like a couple months ago, and we're driving like also pretty far distance. And the first like 20, I get in obviously you get in, they're like, "Hey, are you Matt?" Yeah, okay, you get in. The guy starts driving. We probably drove 20 of the 30-minute drive. And he said nothing, which I was fine with. He didn't speak a word to me.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like, "So how's your day going?" And I'm like, what the hell? We've been driving. And then from then on, it was like a nice conversation. He's like asking me about the neighborhood we're driving through. And like, is there a lot of Jews and Jewish people in this neighborhood or whatever? And like, we're kind of talking about the breakdown of like which there are a lot of Jewish people in my neighborhood. So like we were kind of talking about it, and it was fine, but it was just so weird. Like out of nowhere, he's like, "Hey, how's it
like
going?"
right at the end of the trip is weird.
Yeah. It
Like
was
it's weird. Start at the beginning.
Be consistent.
Yeah,
You know?
give me the consistency. Don't like spring it on me as I'm getting out of the car.
Yeah.
I love it though, man, because like you get some weird fucking people that drive Ubers.
Yeah.
Especially at strange times at night.
Yeah.
Like I was coming home on New Year, not like totally in the bag, but I had a good buzz going coming home.
Right.
And I was with a friend, and you know we were so like just like partying. Let's go home. Let's sleep. We're fucking tired.
Right.
And this woman like. She's driving and then telling us about how she's gonna go like do meditative yoga and then drink all night, and how she like lost contact with her daughter. And this is all in like we've sat down and it's been 30 maybe 30 seconds or a minute.
Right.
She's like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I can't talk to my daughter anymore. She doesn't talk to me, but who cares? My husband's not around, but I'll be fine.
whole life
It's just
story.
like right away life story. So it's like, I don't know, either you're an Uber driver or you're from California. Cause it's the only people I know that tell you deep shit about themselves in the first
I do find
30
it
seconds.
interesting, the mix of people. Like, there are, you get young dudes that are just doing it to, like, help pay for school.
Yeah.
And then you get older dudes that are, like, basically cab drivers that in the night they drive their Uber. I've actually thought about doing Uber driving.
I have too.
But you need a new car. That's a problem. And your car needs to
No,
be
you
less than
don't.
5
I
years.
just
Yeah,
said
you
a
do.
new
shoebox
car.
It
today.
has to be less than 5 years old. That's the rule.
Yeah, I've for
Uber.
sure gotten pieces of shit.
No fucking way.
That's the rule. Maybe people break their rule, but I've asked drivers about it.
Maybe it's gotta be a Civic, 'cause
the
every
rule
piece
is
of
you have
shit
to
I've
have a
gotten is a
5-year-old
Civic.
or less car in order to be an Uber driver. So if I were to get a new car, I would.
I
do
wonder
it.
how
But
much
then
money you actually make.
Tell
Like,
that
you
to
can make
Nara
good money.
decide.
You can make good money.
But you're driving like 12 hours a day.
Yeah. The good thing with, like, the thing is you set your own schedule, right? Like, if it were me, I would never drive on, like, Fridays or Saturday nights, which is when the real money is.
Yeah, but
I
that's-
would, like, drive during the daytime while my wife's at work and my son's at school. If I'm not working, if I don't have a job, if I'm not on a gig, then I'll just, like, spend a couple hours driving around, making a couple bucks, you know?
I couldn't do the Friday, Saturday nights downtown.
Yeah,
like,
people puke in your car
oh my God,
and
man.
all that. Like, I wouldn't want any of that shit.
Like I leave Second City at like maybe 1 in the morning, 1:30, and I'm walking home and I'm walking past all the clubs. And I'm just seeing people like fucking fighting and puking and screaming. Is anybody actually having fun?
I don't
Are you guys
know.
actually having fun?
I guess
Like, what's
that's
going
fun.
on?
I
What is
used to
going
do
on
that.
here? It's that crowd though, man. It's that clubbing, that late night crowd that like I
young
just don't
people
get
with
it.
lots of fucking testosterone,
Yeah,
young
just-
dudes that
like packs of roving men.
yeah.
It's weird. It's
I
weird.
remember
It's weird.
certain guys in high school.
My problem's always just been the music. Even in high school, you're gonna bring. It's always just been. We are going to actively go from when we were in Thornhill growing up. Now I live in Newmarket, but even when I was living downtown, like we're gonna actually go out of our way to go to a building that amplifies the music we like the least.
right.
And we're
Go to
gonna
a
have
strip club
trouble
if you're gonna
talking
do that.
to each other. Yeah, the girls are probably not going to talk to us.
Right.
We were never honest about it at the time, but
Yeah.
seriously, like that was probably the only reason we went.
See, that's my thing too. Is I've never been single, so I don't have I never had
mean
the
never
like.
been single?
Like I've been
never
with my
like
wife
girlfriend.
since I was 16.
Are you
So,
serious?
Like, yeah, so I've never, I never was like 19, 20, 21, 22 going out to clubs trying to get laid.
Was she ever into it? Like going to clubs? And stuff?
No. Not well, like when she was at McGill, we would go out to like
Yeah.
bars in Montreal and stuff, not clubs. Like
you guys
we'd
used to
go
pick
out.
up girls and bring her home, though.
I wish. I thought she told me she had a birthday present for me this a couple of days ago, and I
yeah?
thought it was maybe a threesome. But
Put that out in the universe.
Disappointing.
Now you have a podcast. You can put stuff out in the
There you
universe.
go.
I told
Positive,
her. I told her
positive
that's
energy.
what I thought it was. That she was. And
Come rant
What are the chances
podcast at
on that?
gmail.com. Any ladies?
Zero?
It's not for me.
Slim to none.
Yeah, it's too weird. I can't even imagine. We're just not those type of people.
Yeah.
It's hard to. I don't know.
Yeah.
You never know though. Who knows? Maybe
What?
a couple more years down the road, things get a bit.
I have a hard
boring,
enough
gotta
time
spice it up.
disappointing one girl, man. Two? Jesus Christ. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Nice. On that note, awesome. Thanks, Shaboo,
Yeah,
for
man.
coming in. What do you want to plug? Give me some. What are you working on? What's your plugs?
Friday night, Second City House Company in the John Candy Box Theater, 3rd floor training center. Come check us out. We're funny. We're working on being funnier.
Nice.
Come support. It's like a $5 show. It's not going to break the bank. You'll have some good laughs. Bars open. Steam
Cool.
whistles are $5.
I'm gonna come. Actually,
on,
I
man.
gotta come. down
$5
when
steam
I'm-
whistle's not
I
terrible.
for sure will try to come.
Yeah, when I'm back from my trip, we'll go maybe. And what about this Bob Curry Fellowship thing?
Yeah,
What's that
Bob
you
Curry
got?
Fellowship. We have a big showcase in April.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. I think it's April 24th.
What's the Bob Curry show Fellowship?
Bob Curry Fellowship is it's a company of diverse comedians, actors, stand-ups, basically all coming together under the banner of Second City to put on a showcase show, showing off like the real good, diverse talent in the city mix. There's some funny fucking dudes.
Oh my God,
some
this
funny
city
fucking
is
people.
crazy.
The talent in this city is insane.
Right.
It's insane,
Yeah.
and it's a chance for us to show our colors.
Nice. So that's gonna be in April,
it
the
that fun.
final, the big show.
Yeah, big showcases in April.
Cool.
Check that out for sure, man. It's a good
Nice.
time.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for coming in.
dude.
Appreciate
I
it.
appreciate having me, man. Thank you.
Peace. That's it.
Cool, dude.
That's it, bro.
That was a lot
You're
of
gonna
fun.
end with
Yeah,
it.
thanks.
Okay.
What's that?
I don't know. You're gonna end with that piece.
Yeah, or we could cut before I say peace. I did that last time too. I said peace at
Did
the end
you?
of Adam's thing.
I don't know. It's like a weird Beastie Boys affectation.
I just say that's something that I say. I'm just trying to be myself. When I say,
Okay.
hey, kids, at the start of it, like, that's just something I say to people. Shaboo knows. I go on
Yeah,
the
dude.
walkie, and I say, hey, kids, we're going to lunch. We're
Making
going to lunch,
movies, kids. Lock it up.
Yeah, or I say, peace out, y'all. I say, Gorman off walkie, peace. Like, that's
True.
how I end every day. So it's just me being me.
I love it.
It
I
might be
just
douchey,
wanted you to articulate
but I'm
it.
It's you,
a
buddy.
bit of a
Take it.
douche.
Just
So.
fucking.
Okay.
That was a great outro.
Just like that. You hit end right after that.
Yeah. All right, good times with Shaboo. That was a good one. Might have revealed a little bit too much about myself, my love for cookie dough. The way I pronounce coupon, it's coupon, not coupon, coupon. There's a Q in there. I know there is. Anyways, thanks for listening. The music under me is Complaint Rock by Grays, the Toronto band that we love. Thanks to Pirates Blend for making that happen. We'd like to thank Shure Microphones for our audio. Tune in next week. You'll find us ranting, raving, doing what we do. Until then, you can reach us at cumrantpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at cumrantpodcast. Just get to us. We love you. Be here next week. More to come. This has been an SG Audio Network production.